And welcome back. I just want to give you a little bit of update on the solar panel project that you've seen in the previous video. We've got it all wired into a combiner box at this point. And if you remember last time we spoke, the top three and the bottom three, so every group of 6 is wired in series. You can see our cabling there, tie wrapped to the top piece of unistrut or superstrut, whichever word you like, down into our combiner box here. So this is a Midnight Solar 6-position combiner box. We're only going to be using 3 of the positions, as you can see here. Each string comes into its own separate breaker, and then you see the main output lug there. Now this is all 10 gauge wiring from Windy Nation. Usually pick it up on Amazon, pretty good price, as well as a Midnight Solar surge suppressor that you see here. So every box, every external combiner box that we have runs one of these, and this is the up to 300 volt DC model. And you can see it's got a positive and a negative. It just ties into the negative rail, the positive output, and of course the ground. And since this array is a little bit farther from the house, you can see we've driven in an 8-foot long grounding rod and just secured our ground here. Now I will caveat this by saying that always consult, I should say, with a licensed electrician, and make sure that whatever you're doing complies to local NEC as well as local guidelines. If you feel uncomfortable in any way doing electrical work, then obviously please seek the advice of a professional. This is also not a how-to. This is just documenting what I've done for my setup. I am not a certified nor licensed electrician, but I feel comfortable enough handling the wiring that I do handle. And again, this is just kind of give you an overview of what we've done on our setup here. So you can see that we've got our 3 strings of 6 into our breakers, comes out of our main combiner, and then hits a piece of conduit. And you can kind of see our trench here that we've buried, wraps around into the yard, comes up out of the ground, secured into the wall with some clamps, comes around, and then comes right behind the panel, and then terminates and goes from there. Like we spoke about before, part of this project was also to clean up the wiring that you've seen in a previous video. If you look at the previous video, we used to have 2 more combiner boxes on this wall. You can see we're down to just 2 12-port combiner boxes on this wall, which each combiner box is only servicing 1 charge controller currently. We got rid of the box that used to be here where all of our main charge control cabling came out, beefed up the support behind it, used 3/4 inch plywood on both sides, along with some very nice exterior black paint. So there's another piece of this plywood on the opposite side of this wall, and then we just have carriage bolts which are sandwiching those 2 together and holding them in place. We entered the house through what used to be a crawl space vent, like you see down here, and it just made it for easy access. Like I said, if you remember the previous video, there used to just be like a gray combiner box here, or a gray junction box like the one you're going to see here in a little bit, and it used to just have all the charge control cabling coming out of it and then routing through various pieces of conduit. So we've cleaned that up. We've used the rear entry point of this box. We've removed the excess cabling that we no longer needed back when the system was young. Before we started running a 48-volt system, we had 4 charge controllers. So since we've consolidated everything down to 2, we've went ahead and removed the extra wiring for now. It's still there, it's up underneath the house, so in the event that we want to add a 3rd or 4th charge controller, we already have the wiring. But as you can see, this made for a much cleaner install, and you'll have to forgive the train. You can see on this particular string and this combiner box handles the panels that you see mounted on the side of the house. of which we have 4 strings of 6 apiece that terminate into our breakers here. Again, central bus bar comes out and goes in the house into the controller. Now, as you can see from here, again, since each string has its own independent breaker, I don't have a main breaker that then kills it from there, because we have the disconnect boxes inside the house that we can pull in order to isolate the outside from the panels. Once again, you can see our Midnight Solar surge suppressor is wired into this box as well. That leaves us with just one piece of conduit, you can see there, which has one of the charge controller cabling in it, and comes into this box here. And this box is a bit more messy, so you'll have to forgive me. It's got a little bit more going on here. But this panel, or combiner box I should say, handles the 100-watt panels. So the panels that you just saw on the rear stand, which are new, its output comes in here and hits this first breaker here. And then each string that you see in the yard that are on the stands, again, are all sets of 6. And each set of 6 then comes in and terminates into each one of these breakers here. Obviously, as you can see, the other half of these combiner boxes aren't used. The reason why all these breakers are here and just non-wired in the off position, it's there just to kind of cover up the gap, because these panels are nice, but they've got perforated entries that you knock out. And since this system has gone through a couple of revisions, you can't easily get cover plates to cover that up. So instead of leaving a gaping hole, we just took a bunch of extra breakers, as you can see here, left them in place just so it kind of keeps it filled in, even though we're only using, again, that first half of this box. And we've got this box here, and if you remember, there used to be a combiner box here in which the house panels ran into here, and then we took the outputs via some conduit and got it to where it needed to go. So that was one of the main purposes of doing this, to clean up the wiring, make it look a lot neater, a lot less of a kind of a hectic mess. As you can see, we're left with just a couple of pieces of conduit. And the reason why this combiner, or I should say this junction box, is still here is you'll see the one piece of conduit come out of the ground that goes to one of the stands that you saw in the yard. There wasn't enough length in this conduit to get it to come over and merge into this box where it belonged. So rather than dig up the yard and run a whole new piece of conduit, we just went and got one of these outdoor weatherproof boxes to go ahead and use it as a junction box, and then get the feed of those panels over to this combiner where it belongs. And in my opinion, it looks a heck of a lot better on the side of this house than what it used to. Much happier with the install overall. So, and this was again, just to kind of show you the reason why we went for so many 100-watt panels on the side yard, as you can see there, because I was just doing it. I was also 2 reasons primarily. One, because we knew we were going to tie them into the combiner box, as you can see here, that had the other 100-watt panels. And again, you know, if you check Amazon warehouse deals frequently, those 100-watt panels come up quite often as items that, you know, somebody either returned it, and generally the returned items I get in are unused. I mean, they still have the tie wraps and the cables in the back. Like I said, and you can get a little bit, you can get pretty good discount on them as well. So you can see we've got 2 combiner boxes for 2 charge controllers. And coming back around here, you can see our little makeshift trench, and this will eventually fill in after we get some more dirt back here, and we have a few rainstorms. This lovely red clay that you can see that we have for a yard will eventually pack down, fill in, and you won't even be able to tell there's a trench here after a while. But I didn't film every little step of this because it took quite a bit of time to get this done. It's tedious, it's wiring, and again, it's not really a how-to video on wiring. So it was just a matter of us getting it together, but I wanted to put this video together to kind of show you the way we chose to handle this. And one thing about the unistrut, which worked out pretty well in our favor, if you remember, we trimmed off the excess unistrut that we had on the frame. We were able to reutilize the two pieces that you see here, along with some of those 3/8 inch cone nuts, as they're called, that just kind of lock in place onto these unistrut rails. And we're able to use that to bolt through the box and kind of, you know, just use a friction fit, so to speak, or a pressure fit. As you tighten these up, these pieces of rail tighten up against this unistrut leg and kind of just sandwich everything together. And the distance between the mounting holes on this 6-port combiner box, it worked out quite well for us just to be able to reutilize 2 of these scrap pieces. And as you can see, that box isn't going anywhere. It did a fairly nice job for us and give us a spot to anchor that. Well, what I'm going to do next is go ahead and put the covers on all these, the black plastic covers, as you can see here, just to show you what I was talking about earlier. These midnight combiner boxes, you can see that these are perforated. So once you break these out, I haven't seen where you can get covers for them. Like if you decide that you don't want to use, you know, position, maybe you break out all 6 and later on you decide you don't want to use 4, 5, and 6. I haven't seen where you can get blanks just to fill this. If you know where they're at and you want to put a, you know, link in the description, that would be perfect. But as you can see here, we're just using the first 3 out of the 6, and that'll roughly kind of pop in place and set up in there and do a nice job of dressing that up for us. I'm going to go around and get the rest of that done, get everything prepped, get the charge controllers turned back on, and start generating some more power for the house. I appreciate you stopping by and taking a look at kind of how we handled our wiring here. And if you got any more questions, just put them down in the description. And I thank you for watching, and we'll chat at you later.